Now we have some motivation to continue through your week, which if you have been listening to this podcast for any length of time, you know it is our bread and butter for not only my social media platforms, including my YouTube channel, but also the main factor in why I wanted to start this podcast. We talk about this all the time, but I really think it's important. You know, motivation is awesome, but you can meet some of the most motivated people, but in reality, they never change and they never do anything they say they're going to, because motivation is always temporary. It's fleeting. It's up and down. And that's why we say consistency will take you places that motivation can't. You can meet some of the most motivated people that give up on their dreams before anybody else. And that's because they did not have the consistency to carry them through. So we do Motivation Monday on my YouTube channel and motivation every Tuesday on this podcast to continue through your week and to kind of get your mindset right, get your environment ready to crush some serious goals. Okay, we're only about 2.5 weeks into 2023. There is so much time for you to become the best version of yourself that has ever existed by leaving behind past versions of yourself that do not serve you anymore. They are outdated versions of you that should not exist. And that brings me to this point. Okay, someone's mistreatment of you is oftentimes not a reflection of your worth and your value as a person. It's honestly their projections being projected onto you through their past experiences and their past traumas. And honestly, that's not your work, okay? It's theirs. And you know, you have to sometimes understand and come to the realization that at a certain point in your life, self-respect should outweigh feelings, okay? It doesn't matter all the time you've ever had with that person if they're constantly disrespecting you and disregarding your boundaries, okay? Sometimes it shouldn't matter, you know, the environment or the certain things that you used to love. If they no longer support you the way that you need or the way you deserve or the way you want, you have to start putting stock and valuing your self-respect versus the feelings of others and the feelings that you used to have, okay? This is so indicative of being the adult you needed as a child, okay? We all have a choice to make when we start leaving our childhood behind and growing up into the adults we're meant to become someday. That journey is precious. Number one, not everybody gets that opportunity, okay? But number two, we see so many people squandering it. How many people can you say are ultimately living a life that would make the little kid they used to be proud of the adult that they've become? How many? I'll sit here and wait for you to think about that. How many people do you know that are actually being that kind of adult out in the world? Which begs the question, and number three, are you being the adult that you needed as a child? Have you dealt with all of your traumas, be it past or present? Have you dealt with those to ultimately become the best version of yourself that little kid that used to be, that sacrificed their childhood for you to grow up? Are you being the adult that they needed? Are you being somebody that they can be proud of? Are you honoring that child? Okay. Can you think subliminally that you can give that little kid a high five and say, we're doing some epic shizit. I'm making you proud. I love you. What are you doing that's going to ultimately allow you to be able to say that in complete earnestness? Or are you just a motivated person who is not doing anything with that? These are questions that you need to ask yourself, and based on the answers, we'll decide how much work you need to do personally inside yourself as a person. Are you having these brutally honest conversations with yourself to take accountability and to take stock of your life, to become the best version of yourself and to realize your fullest potential as an amazing individual?